my hands. Those of you that know me, I use a few expletives, and I promised I won't use any today, so if I fuck up, let me know. I'm not talking too much today. I'd rather do my work on film. You can go into piemeshfilms.com and see all the work we've done concerning the horrific subject of child abuse. The children of the future, that's where life begins. Let's sort it out. Let's sort it out. Who wants their children in years to come say, hang on, my mum and dad were around then, they never done anything. Why didn't my mum and dad do anything? Pedophilia is controlling world politics via blackmail. Got it? Jimmy Savile was a devil. We got one up there as well. Kenneth Clarke, a nonce, a paedophile. Leon Britton. There's loads of them. You could go on and on and on and on, but we're not doing anything about it. It's controlling bankers. It's controlling army. And when I was up there a little while ago, because they weren't letting you in, I said, the police officer said, I said, why won't you let them in? He said, because we're waiting for the boss of G4S to say that we can let some more in. I said, what, you working for them? I said, you can't work for them, we're paying you. We're paying the police, they're working for G4S. It's bang out of order. And then a lady's come up to me and she said to me, Bill, I spoke to some people and we can't get no water for the kids down there. Where are you, darling? Did you get your water? You got water now? Good. Let's give the kids water at least, you know what I mean? Then I told two other police officers and it's like, Now, I'm not saying that all police officers are bad, because by no means are they. I work with them myself, you know. I work with child investigators, detectives. But this was, I was going to rattle on for a little while, but I'm not going to talk anymore, because at the moment, the man of the moment is a guy called Ben Fellows. And he's a victim of abuse, the same as myself. And all you abuse victims here, especially institutional abuse, hello. Hello. And you don't be ashamed no more. It's not your fault. It's our governments. It's our politicians. Jimmy Savile was going to Margaret Thatcher's, I think it was 13 consecutive Christmases, at Chequers, because he was updating her on all the paedophiles, the powerful ones, and then she put their arms up their backs and controlled it. Why didn't anybody ever question Margaret Thatcher? Anyway, you're all here. Just being here means you're doing something and you're part of it. And we got to fight against paedophilia because it's still going strong now. Now. So don't make your children ashamed of you. Let's pick up the beat on this. And where's David? Where's David? Is he about? Where's David? Ike, talk about it when you get up here, bruv. I haven't spoke to you for a while, David. Let's pick this subject up and let's start protecting the kids. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present Ben Fellows.
I am alive and well. I have been on the run for 7 days. I have lived in many houses, on boats, on coaches, travelling around the country to get here today to tell you this message, that Clarke is going to find himself in a court whether he likes it or not. When they came out and said that Jimmy Savile was the only person in the BBC who was a paedophile, I said, I was a child actor in the BBC. There's loads of paedophiles. Children's BBC are run by paedophiles. You go to auditions, they say, take your top off. You know, can you pretend to lick an ice cream? That's how they do it. And it's all done through agents and casting directors. And then I came out and said, well, it's the wider industry. And that got pointed to the Daily Express. And they said, not only that, but when I met Kenneth Clarke, when I was working for the Cook Report as an investigative journalist many years later, I was 18 years old. The producer of the program said, look, can you say you're 15 to grease the wheels against these guys? Because they knew that young boys hung around with these businessmen and they wanted to get in with them. So I said to Ken Clarke when I met him, I'm 15 years old. And what did he do? Yeah, groped me, sexually assaulted me. Yeah. So, the police came to me and said, this is Operation Fairbridge, not Utree. Operation Fairbridge said, we're the men. They're the boys, Utree. We can actually go after these guys. And I said, well, what happens if you, why can't you go and ask Prince Charles? What was he doing with Jimmy Savile in Scotland? Why can't you go and speak to him? And they said, basically, we'd love to, but we don't know if we can, protocols. But you need to make a statement against Ken Clarke because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. I said, I don't want to make a statement against Ken Clarke. I've done my article, he hasn't sued me. Nobody has sued me. I have not seen a solicitor's letter. I have not seen a cease and desist from anybody. And that only happens when you're telling the truth. Otherwise, I'd be crucified and it would have happened instantly. My YouTube channel got taken down, my Facebook channel got taken down, and my Twitter account got taken down, all in the space of about 10 minutes. And this is why. Because when the police came to me, they said, make this statement. I spent 8 hours with a detective being interrogated about the colour of the carpet, about the wallpaper, how many stairs were there, and I was accurate. And at the end of the 8 hours, they turned around to me and they went, Ben, you know what? You're spot on, we can do something with that. If it was a half-a-page statement, we wouldn't do anything. But because it's 15 pages, we're gonna go and speak to Mr. Clarke. We'll get his side of the story. And I went, great. He goes, leave it with us. Give us a chance to investigate it. Let us do our job. And I went, you know what, mate? Absolutely. You seem all right to me. I'll let you do your job for 6 months. They were away. Every interview I did, I said, no. Give the police a chance. Let them do their job. 6 months later, which was a couple of weeks ago, they came back to me and said, look, Kenneth Clarke is above the law. He cannot be touched. The people that you mentioned, I told them anecdotal evidence of my experience so that, you know, with historical abuse, you need to put yourself in the room, have a good reason. I was working for the Cook Report. I was put there by the producers. The producer of the show said 6 months ago, yes, I was there. Yes, Kenneth Clarke was there. But, you know, they couldn't quite see the grope, even though we'd all watched it on the film back afterwards. Now, when the police went and interviewed her, she went, well, I don't know. But then she works for BBC Panorama, doesn't she? And that should say it all. You know? These people have things to lose, so they don't speak out. I am a man alone, and I know that. And I can be a man alone. Because no one can silence me.
You're not alone, mate. You're not alone.
Thank you. Thanks, really. And so the police came to me and said, he's above the law. There's a two-tier system. Politicians cannot and won't be spoken to by the paedophile unit. The paedophile unit won't speak to them. They're simply gathering intelligence to be used against these people. So when they need something being voted for or something going their way, the paedophile unit give it out to whoever or they sell it or do whatever they do with it, and they force these politicians to do what they want, like Bill was saying about Margaret Thatcher. So Kenneth Clarke's above the law. Andrew Lloyd Webber, who stuck his tongue down my throat, is above the law. And I was 13 years old. I was given drugs. I was given alcohol. And don't think it was like a line of coke in the bathroom with a £20 note, because it wasn't. It was a milkshake. A chocolate, a strawberry milkshake with cocaine in it. And, no, I'm right. And people said, drink this will pep you up for the show. That's how you were given drugs. And then you were given alcohol. I went to Esther Ransom's house for a party, and we were doing drugs and alcohol in that party when we were kids. She's head of child life, for God's sake. Can she be questioned? Absolutely. Can she be questioned? No. Jimmy Savile had to die before we questioned anything and all the victims came out. You know? Kenneth Clarke cannot be questioned because the police admitted that there was a two-tier system in place. We are not part of it. If I made an allegation against any one of you or you, me, I'd be spoken to by the police. I'd have to make a statement. What happened to me was the police just simply threatened me. So I filmed them, put them up on YouTube. Let you decide. I will take a lie detector test Just like they do on Jerry Mikhail, because in Jerry Mikhail they'll, you know, dash families' lives over a lie detector. They'll split families up. I'll do a lie detector test any day of the week and twice on Sundays about my Ken Clarke story. Yeah. Absolutely. Not afraid of it whatsoever. So the police decide to threaten me. I had a man in a black mask outside my window and flat threatening me and my wife over the phone on the day that Lee Rigby got killed. Saying, what happened to that soldier was going to happen to you. How can that be right? I was on the run for 7 days and I knew I had to get here. Of course, my mistake was that I told my wife I was going one place and I actually went another. So she got very worried. It got onto the internet and it's gone viral. But in a way, that was good because it's got it all out there to you lovely people here in the sun. So it's still ongoing for me. It's not over. What I'm trying to do now is get the story out to as many people as possible. Kenneth Clarke will find himself in a court of law, whether he likes it or not. He will be questioned.
Yeah! Go on!
And anybody else I've made complaints against, they will find themselves in a court of law. And I will not stop until it's done. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah!